Hey, Darren here. Today I wanted to share with you how to download the Brackets code editor, as well as give you a brief introduction on how to use the code editor itself. So let's go ahead and jump into today's tutorial. So the first thing you want to do is go to your browser of choice and go to brackets.io. And this is actually the website where we will download the code editor. Now, upon the home page, you will find a button that says Download Brackets. What you'll go ahead and do is hit that button, and today I'll be downloading and doing this tutorial with version 1.10. Now, I've actually already got this downloaded, so I'm not going to download it again. But once you have that downloaded, I'll show you what that should look like. On your desktop or in your downloads folder, you should see some file called brackets.release.1.10.dmg. So go ahead and click on that file, and that will kick off the download of the code editor. Now on my MacBook, the application installer opens this window, and what I did was push the Brackets application, actually pull that over onto the application folder, as you typically do with application installs, and that will download and install the application into my applications folder. And so once that's downloaded, you'll want to go and find that application on your PC or on your MacBook, and you'll want to click on it. So here we go. This is my Brackets code editor upon first installing it. Now, one thing I did want to note on the MacBook, since this is not a native Apple application, you'll be hit with a security warning that may look something like this. And the way to get by that is when you're opening it, if you right click and then hit open, that will allow you to overwrite the security preferences, and you can click open right there. So right click, then open, and that should help you install it. So upon opening it up, one more thing that I took a screenshot of was you'll see this Brackets health report, and so this just sends your usage data to the Brackets analytics team. And if you do not want your code editor to do this, what you can do is within Brackets, go to Help, then go to Health Report, and that'll open up the Brackets health report, and you can uncheck Share Anonymous Information on how I use Brackets and click Done. That will not send any of your usage data to the Brackets team. And so here we are in the Brackets code editor. And so what I thought I would do is go through this getting started with Brackets file, just because I am definitely a visual learner. That's why I like to do tutorials and see tutorials rather than read through all this. But what I have done is I've read through all of this. I'm going to share with you basically everything that it says. So Brackets is a code editor, and it is made with JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. And what this does, and what the developers have done, is made it in a way that allows you or I or other developers to expand the application with things called extensions. And the way to get to your extension manager is in the top right corner. There's a little Lego piece, and you can click on that, and that will open the extension manager. And here basically there's two things. There's extensions themselves, and these are similar to the extensions you'll find on Google Chrome. This just basically enhances the application. Maybe it provides you with a way to clean up the code or a different way to see the code. The possibilities are endless, and I will share more on this in the future. And the other quick thing was themes, and themes allow you to change the color of the code, and you can be looking for my other video on that as well. And so basically there's two things that this document kind of goes through, and the first one is the quick edit. And so the quick edit allows you to edit the code supporting an element that is actually contained in another file. So here's a sample tag, and we'll actually use this as our sample. And so if I click on this sample selector and I hit Command E or Control E, what that will do is open up an inline, it will open up inline the CSS supporting that sample tag. So here I know that this sample tag has a CSS property of display none. And what I can do is, if I wanted to change that, I could change it to inline block. We'll keep it the same. But that is what you could do, and I'm going to go ahead and X out of that. Now, this is not restricted to just selector tags. I think there is a, yeah, so here's a class. So if I did the same thing with the class, so I click on that class and I click Command E, that will open up the inline. So here I see there is no CSS supporting that class tag. And then the final thing is I could click on a selector or an ID or a class, and I can actually add a new rule by selecting new rule. So say we want to give this color, this paragraph, a style of color. If I can get my typing right and say we want to make this royal blue. Yeah. And then rather than Xing out of these, if I click out and say I'm doing something else here, if I hit the escape key, that'll actually close both of those. So quick edit is pretty cool, and I really like that. It's very useful rather than switching back between the HTML and the CSS. And then the next thing this goes through is the live preview. So there's different levels of this, and so probably the fanciest level that you'll see is if you click on this lightning bolt in the top right corner, that'll actually open up the live preview. And then one thing to note, when you first open this, you'll be prompted with a note that will look something like this, saying welcome to live preview. And this just says here in live preview, you'll be able to see any edits to your CSS or HTML files live. So you can go ahead and click OK out of that. So over here in the right, this is Google Chrome. And I think that note also says, you need Google Chrome in order to use live preview. So here we have a live preview of our HTML, and one thing I do see here is all of my paragraph tags are actually blue. When I was looking at this earlier, those were black, and I think that's because I actually edited that CSS rule. So let's go ahead and change that back to black. And we see, okay, there you go, live preview. I haven't saved, I haven't reloaded my browser. That was all live. So very cool. And what you also just saw there was all of the paragraph tags were highlighted. So when I select something here, it's going to highlight it and bring into focus that element on my web page. So I could do the same thing with this image. If we find this image, it would highlight that image as well. And then also in light and in lieu of the live preview, if I go to my CSS file, I can also preview things like the color. So if I hover over this color, that's going to say, hey, that's not a color. Say this color. The hexadecimal color is #FFF. Or it can do RGB colors. This has kind of like a shimmery white silver color. Come down here to the color on my A tag. This is blue, so that's giving my link or my hyperlink a blue color. So again, with the live preview. So yeah, very versatile, very cool. Trying to bring in the idea of just being very efficient. And so two more things, and these will be based over here in the left column. If I wanted to open two files at the same time, I could do a horizontal or a vertical split. So here I have my CSS file on top, and if I wanted to open up my HTML, I could open that on bottom. And then I can move that, say I wanted to bring CSS down. And yeah, so I can expand that, de-expand that. So I can edit two things at the same time. And then the final thing that you will definitely want to do is open up your other files. So open up your other project, and the way Brackets does this is by clicking on this drop down here. So if I click on this, I'm able to open a folder, And this is asking me to save my changes. I will. And this opens up my my locals file search capabilities. And so here I can go to brackets, install files, open up getting started, which is where I am now. And I'll just leave it there because I'm already there. So yeah, that is my introduction and tutorial on how to download, install, and briefly review the capabilities of brackets. Now, if you are interested further in this, I want to provide you with some resources. And the first thing is a website. This is actually the wiki page that Brackets has put together, and this is available on GitHub. So we'll copy that, and we'll paste that here. And I'll have this available to you in the description, and you can read more here. This goes into more detail than what I reviewed today. And then also, another thing I wanted to provide to you is this getting started file kind of gets hidden away, and so I wanted to provide that to you as well, and that'll be available in the description. If you have accidentally opened up another folder or file in here, you want to get back to this getting started file. So yeah, that is everything I want to share with you today. I hope you found this useful, informative, and I hope you liked it. So yeah, everyone, happy coding.